In previous lectures, we discussed something about the applications related with the electromagnetic spectrum. So we have to we already discussed uh, X-ray related application, ultraviolet related application, radar related applications, visible ray band applications, or gamma rays applications. So all these applications we already discussed in a last some lectures. Now next, another important type of application is other imaging module. Means by using different other techniques we have to discuss applications. So in previous lectures we discuss about the electromagnetic spectrum related application. Next is sound and other type of application we have to discuss. So imagine in electromagnetic spectrum is discussed above, but there are another number of other different imaging modality that is also important. So such as first important thing is that by using audio. So by using audio, there will be also image applications, some electronic microscopy technique, or some computer generated imaging, that is synthetic imaging. So these are the another three important types of techniques. By using that technique, image will be created, and by using that image we can process such type of images, and we can use we can discuss that application. So there are another technique by using audio imaging, by electronic microscope, or by using electronic, and then some another is synthetic, that is computer generated application. So these are the some of the applications we have to discuss here. Now first is audio related or sound related applications we have to discuss. So imaging using sound finds application in a geographical exploration, industrial automation, and some in medicine. So these are the three main areas of the sound exploration. Okay, so here one is sound. Okay. So one other application is geographical exploration, means land exploration. So something we have to find whether that particular land consists of some minerals or some petroleum atoms or whatever that. So that is a geographical exploration. It is also this sound like imagining technique is also used in a sea. In a sea level, so we have to discuss this. Then some industry application and medical field is also used. So geographical application uses sound, that is in low end sound spectrum, that will be 100 hertz, whereas in some situation there will be ultrasounds which is million of hertz. So in some application we have to use hundreds of megahertz, hundreds of hertz frequency, whereas in some application it requires more frequency. So that will be millions of hertz, and that type of frequency is ultrasonic sounds. Okay. So the most important commercial application of image processing is geology, that will be used to find the minerals and oil exploration. So these are the two main applications of the geographical processing. Okay, so that means we have to find the minerals in land, and some oils which is available in land, or it may be in a sea. So whatever may be. So these are the two basic applications of the geography using the sound waves. म्हणजे दोन महत्त्वाचे ऍप्लिकेशन सांगितले की मिनरल्स म्हणजे जमिनीत काय धातू आहेत का नाही हे फाइंड करायचं, किंवा जमिनीत काय आहे हे फाइंड करायचं, धातू असतील, ऑइल असेल. So that will be found by using this sound technique. So in some situation the sound will be in hundreds of hertz, whereas in some situation sound will be a millions of hertz. So these are the some of the applications we have to discuss detail. So this is first important application. So using this, so image acquisition over a land, this is one of the application. जमिनीतला धातू किंवा काय आहे का नाही बघण्यासाठी. So that will be one of. So one of the main approach is used to large truck. So here how this will be takes place, or how this sound wave will be passed, how this will be generated. So in the first large truck and the large flat of steel plate that is used. See here the in example, see the large truck and the plate. So that plate is used. So the plate is pressed on the ground by the truck. This plate is pressed by the truck. Okay, and the truck is vibrated through the frequency hundreds of hertz. So this truck will be press this plate and it will be vibrate. When that plate is vibrated, it can generate the signal. Okay, so this signal will be passed to the pass to in land, and then it can have some obstacle, then it will be returned back. So this will be a technique. So see here, this plate will be generate some signals, then signals will be pass this to the land, and if the obstacle appears or something, whatever the minerals appears, that ray will be transmitted back to the receiving end. So this is a technique. Okay, the strength and speed of the returning of sound wave are determined by the composition of earth below surface. Okay, so here this surface, say earth below surface is here. So this will be calculated when the sound wave will be propagated and when the sound wave will be reached at this state. And according to that, they can analyze the particular signal and it can determine whether which type of mineral will be available in that land. So they are analyzed by the computer and images are generated from the resulting analysis. So this is a technique which is used for this to find the minerals. So image acquisition over land. So one truck is used, one plate is used. Plate will be pressed by the truck and the truck will vibrate this plate. So when the vibration will be created, this plate transmits some sound wave, which is 100 hertz sound wave, and this will be passed in a medium, and then according to the particular minerals they can return the waves. So this wave will be captured at receiving end. So this is one of the technique which is used to image acquisition over land. Now next application, how the particular mineral will be found in a sea. So here marine acquisition, this is known as a marine acquisition. This is known as marine acquisition. So for marine acquisition, see, the energy source consists of usually two air guns. So that air guns will be placed at the behind the ship. So this air gun will be placed here. Okay, so they can transmit signals. They can pass the signal. So return the signal. So this will be passed to the water. After that, it can return something. Okay, now see here, there are three different lines. Yellow line will be determined where the sound wave will be propagated from this source. So sound wave will be passed, and this dotted line will be returning waves, returning sound waves. So as different at the different levels or different structure, different time requires. Now for example, suppose this sound wave will be passed to here and after that it will be written here. So obviously it requires more time than these two. Okay, so based on that they can identify which type of minerals, which type of oil, or what is the location of the oils, where is the oil is available. So all these information will be fine. So returning sound wave are detected by the hydrophones placed in a cable. See this cable. See, this is a cable. Okay, this will be placed. So this hydrophone placed with the cable, they are either behind the ship or it will be on the surface of the particular sea level. Okay, the two air guns are alternatively pressurized near about approximately 2000 psi and then set off. ठराविक प्रेशर ठराविक टाइमला प्रेशरला ते सिग्नल पास केले जातात. Okay, so it is nearly about 2000 psi. So approximately it is 2000 psi. Okay, then constant motion of the ship will be, see, ship will be constantly moving. So according to that movement and the signal returning from that particular, it can generate a 3D map. So that particular system will be generated 3D map, and that will be that map will be used to identify what is the inner sea. Okay, so this is a marine acquisition. Okay, so this is a technique which is used in marine acquisition. The next technique, so ultrasonic imaging, ultrasound. So ultrasound So this is one of the another technique, ultrasonic sounds. Okay. So although ultrasound, so see, in ultrasound it requires higher higher frequency is required. So that is millions of hertz frequency is required. So in ultrasonic imaging, it is used to it is generally used in a two fields. One is manufacturing, and so another technique is medicine. Okay, so in a medicine, especially it is used to find the unborn baby, whether that particular baby has some defect or not, whatever it may be. So that will be used. So ultrasonic imaging technique is useful for this purpose. So in medicine, especially in observe where the unborn baby are imaged to determine the health of their development. So जनरली बघा अल्ट्रासोनिक साऊंड किंवा आपण बऱ्याच ठिकाणी हे जे ऍप्लिकेशन आहे किंवा काही ठिकाणी असं पण आहे की तो जो अनबॉर्न बेबी आहे तो मेल आहे का फिमेल आहे. So that is also one of the application of this ultrasonic sound. Okay, so this is ultrasonic sound. So ultrasonic sounds are used to in the manufacturing industry, or it is in the medical industry. So in manufacturing industry, see, some sender sound will be sent, it will be transmitted to this object, and this object will be identify something and return back. So here this sound wave will be sent. If the object will be collide, then if that object will be collide, it returns some the reflected wave, and then it can calculate the distance between these two. So this is also one of the applications. Okay, so in medical field, it is used to identify whether the unborn baby, male or female, whether that unborn baby's health condition is good or not, whatever may be. So in that way, so this is one of the application. Okay, now say here in ultrasonic imaging, how this technique will be take place. So the ultrasound system, it may be a computer or something, ultrasonic probes. Okay, so that will be used to source and receiving purpose. Ultrasonic probe is used to send and receive the signals. Okay, so this can transmit the frequency. See, high frequency, it is 1 or 5 megahertz frequency. In previous example, it will be only 100 hertz, where here it will be a megahertz frequency. So these frequency will be transmitted to the human body. Okay, and then it will be checked where the sound wave travel into the body and hit the boundary between the tissue. So this sound wave that will be transmitted to human body. So that travels through the human body and hit the boundary between the tissue. So it may be some soft tissue, it may be some soft tissue or bone, whatever it may be. And based on that, so some of the sound wave are reflected back. So as that, when that will be particular sound wave will be hit to the bone, so it can return back, or hit to the some soft tissue, or hit to the some fluid. So based on that, it will be returned something signal. Some signals are passed and some signals are returned. So sound waves are reflected back to the probe, while some travels further for the next boundary. Okay, so based on the frequency, that particular sound will be passed or that will be returned. हे फ्रिक्वेन्सी नुसार डिपेंडंट आहे. समजा त्यांना बोनच्या रिलेटेड असेल तर ते हाय फ्रिक्वेन्सी पाठवतील. समजा दुसरे काय डिटेक्शन करायचं, सॉफ्ट टिश्यू मध्ये डिटेक्शन करायचं असेल तर कमी फ्रिक्वेन्सी पाठवतील. सो बेस्ड ऑन द फ्रिक्वेन्सी, that frequency will be either transmit, either pass, and then it will be searched to next obstacle or next object. Okay, so some sound waves are reflected back to the probe. So because probe is used to receive and send signal. Okay, जनरली बघा ह्याचं एक एक्झाम्पल घ्यायचं म्हणजे तर सोनोग्राफी म्हणून आपण ऐकलेलं असेल, बऱ्याच ठिकाणी आपण वापरलं, मेडिकल फील्ड मध्ये वापरलं जातं की सोनोग्राफी. सो सोनोग्राफी इज यूज्ड टू फॉर दिस पर्पज. सो दॅट इज अल्ट्रासोनिक साऊंड. That technique is used in a sonography technique. So it is sound wave will be reflected back to the probe, and this probe will be work as a sender or receiver. That means probe will be send the signal, and it is also used to receive the signal. So while some signals are travel further to until the another boundary or another object. Okay, so the reflected waves are picked by the probe, and then that particular, based on that reflected waves, computer can generate the image. So this is the technique. Means probe can transmit the signal, then that signal will be passed to human body. Human body, it can pass either soft tissue or bone, whatever may be. Some signals are passed next, some signals are returned back, and based on that return signal, the particular probe will be pass that signal to the computer system, and computer can generate the image. So this is a work of a ultrasonic sound system. Okay, so the machine calculate the distance from the probe to the tissue or returning signal or boundary using the speed of the sound in tissue. So it may be something 1540 millisecond, and the time of each echo returns. हा जो सिग्नल पास केलेला आहे, हा सिग्नल त्या पर्टिक्युलर टिश्यूला किंवा बॉन्ड्रीला थडकून माघारी येतो. त्या ह्याचा साऊंड, त्याची वेवलेंथ, म्हणजे त्याची रिफ्लेक्ट होणाऱ्या साऊंडची वेवलेंथ, त्याचं टाइम, based on that computer system can generate the particular image, and that image will be our final image. So this is a ultrasonic sound system. So this is one of the example. Then next, so this is also an example of ultrasonic sound system. So in typical ultrasonic imaging, millions of the pulses and echoes are sent and received each second, and the probe can be moved along the surface of the body and angled to the obtain various views. We have बेबीची कंडिशन चेक करण्याचा एक फोटो घेतलेला आहे. So that particular probe will be moved surface on the body surface, and it can generate based on the returning signal, based on the this. तो प्रोब काय करतो, सिग्नल पास करतो आणि त्याच्यातून रिटर्न होतो. सो बेस्ड ऑन दॅट इट कॅन जनरेट द इमेज. सच टाइप ऑफ इमेज विल बी डिस्प्ले. So this is application of ultrasonic imaging. Then next another application is electronic microscope. This is one of the another application, electronic microscope. So electronic microscope are used to enlarge the image. So this is the basic purpose of electronic microscope. So electronic microscope focus the beam of electrons instead of a light to image specimen. Now see, so in ultrasonic sound or in ultrasonic sound, sound waves are sent. In electromagnetic spectrum, signals are sent. Now here in electronic microscope, electrons are sent. See, the electrons are sent. So beam of electrons are sent instead of light or instead of sound wave. So the operation of electronic microscope is as follow. The stream of electrons is produced by some electron source and accelerated towards the specimen using the positive electrical potential. Now this some source will be send the electrons to the receiving end. Okay, so here the electronic source, and it can accelerate toward the specimen. जो ऑब्जेक्ट ठेवलाय त्याच्यातून तो पास केला जातो. So that specimen using positive electrical potential. This stream is confined and focused using the metal apparatus and magnetic lens into thin or focused or something monochromatic beams. Okay, so that particular stream of beam will be passed using the different materials such as metal apparatus, some magnetic lens that may be into thin lens or thick lens. It is focused and monochromatic beams. So the beam is focused into the simple using the magnetic lens. म्हणजे बघा आपण जनरली अजून एक एक्झाम्पल घ्यायचं म्हणलं तर आपण दुर्बिणीमधून आपण जर सूर्यकिरण पकडलं तर ते एकत्र असं येणार खाली हे होतं. तशा पद्धतीनं लेन्स वापरली जाते. दॅट इलेक्ट्रॉन विल बी पास थ्रू द लेन्स अँड दॅट लेन्स विल दॅट पर्टिक्युलर इलेक्ट्रॉन विल बी पास्ड ऍक्सेलरेट युजिंग दॅट पर्टिक्युलर लेन्स. So interaction occurs inside the irradiated samples affecting the electronic beam. So that beam will be affect on the some specimen, and then specimen from that specimen the electronic beam will be sent to next to forward to receive the or to create the image. See here, this will be one simple example. See, some source will be sent the image. See here, source will be sent the image. So sorry, electrons. Here is a specimen, and it will be sent to, and then it will be passed by this lens, and this image will be generated. So this is our steps. So here some source will be sent the electrons. This electron will be passed by the specimen, then some lens will be used to enlarge that image, and that image will be recorded on some image plane, or it may be some computer system or whatever the output system. So interaction and effect are detected and transmitted into the image much in the same way that light is reflected from or observed by the object in the scene. So in some situation, whatever the particular signal will be passed or it will be observed. So these basic steps are carried out in electronic microscopes. So these are some of the steps. So what is the steps? So some source will be sent the electronic signal. It can electronic signal or electrons beam. So that electron beam will be passed by the specimen. Then this specimen will be passed by the these signals are passed by some object, some lens, and this lens will be passed using some the image will be generated on image plane. So these are the techniques which are used in this electronic microscopy. Then there is another microscope is used, so that will be transmission electron microscope, that is TEM. So which is much like as a projector, which is much like a slide projector. आपण जो प्रोजेक्टर वापरतो, प्रोजेक्टर मध्ये कसं असते की आपली छोटी कॉम्प्युटर स्क्रीन आहे, पण आपल्याला पुढे जर प्रोजेक्टर झालं तर ती किती मोठी दिसते. सो सेम concept is used here, that is transmission electronic microscope. So the projector transmit beam of light. So projector काय करतो, see focus करतो असा. Okay, so it can transmit the beam of light through the slides. As light passes through the slides, it affects its contents of the slides. Then this transmits beam in a project into the viewing screen, that is either on a wall or something screen, and forming the enlarged image. So this is the basic concept of this transmission electronic microscopy. So it is like a projector. म्हणजे आपण जनरली आपण वर्गात बघितलं की प्रोजेक्टर आपण कसा वापरतो की आपल्या स्क्रीन आता हे ऍक्च्युली स्क्रीनवरनं आपण डायरेक्ट पास करतो, पण काही सिच्युएशन मध्ये तुम्ही स्लाइड एक ठेवली तरी ती स्लाइड पण स्लाइडची जी कंटेंट आहे छोटी स्लाइड आपल्याला मोठी साइड मध्ये दिसते. सो दिस इज basic purpose of transmission electronic microscope. So TM works same way, except that they shines beam of electron through the specimen. Okay, इथं त्या पर्टिक्युलर स्पेसिमेनला ते शाईन करतं किंवा इन्क्रीज करतं, मोठं करतं. The fraction of the beam is transmitted through the specimen is projected on the photosphere screen. The interaction of the electron with this light and therefore enlarged viewable image will be generated. So generally this transmission electron microscope works like a projector, and this will be used to enlarge the image. Okay, now there is another type of such enlarger system, and that is scanning electronic microscope. So that is SEM is one of the another type of scanners. Okay, so on this other hand, actually it scans the electronic beam and record the interaction of the beam with and sample at each location. Now see, this TEM and these are the two main used for enlarging the image. One is scanning system will be enlarge the image, and another projector will be used to display this enlarging display. Okay, so this is scan and this will be display. Okay, so this procedure one dot on the photosphere screen, or another example म्हणायचं तर ते आपण झेरॉक्स करताना enlarge करून झेरॉक्स काढतो. So this is one of the examples, scanning electronic microscope. This is one of the example. So the complete image is formed by the raster scan of the beam through the simple, much like TV camera. The electronic interact with the photosphere screen and produces light. The SEM is suitable for the bulky sample whereas TEM will be required for the thin sample. म्हणजे हे दोन्ही मधला जो TEM आणि SEM ह्याच्यामध्ये फरक काय, तर सो TEM is used to direct transmit and enlarge the screen or enlarge the slide, and that slide will be thin slide, whereas this SEM is used to for the bulky sample. The electronic microscopes are capable of very high magnifying system. So this will be magnifying in order to 100x, or electronic microscope is used to 10,000x. म्हणजे साधा जो मायक्रोस्कोप आहे, लाईट मायक्रोस्कोप असेल तर तो 1000 पटीनं मोठी करतो इमेज. जर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मायक्रोस्कोप असेल तर तो 10,000 पटीनं इमेज मोठे करेल. So this is also important thing. So generally these are the electronic microscope or electronic microscopes are used to enlarge the image. So this is basic purpose and uses of this. Then next one of the another type. So we conclude the discussion of the image modeling by looking briefly at image that are not obtained from the physical object. Now in the previous all these techniques we have to take the image from the physical object, something physical object, so that object is available. So from that we have to create the image. So either using the electronic beams, or either using the some electromagnetic spectrum, or either using the sound waves. So whatever the purpose, so that is object will be available. Now in another technique, so instead the particular images are generated using computer system. Instead the particular images are generated by using computer system. So this is one of the another imagining technique. म्हणजे इमेज जे बनतं, आपण आता जो ऍप्लिकेशन बघतोय ते कशावर बेस्ड ऑन द सोर्स ऑफ द इमेज. सोर्स कुठून घेतोय, म्हणजे आपण पहिला टेक्निक बघितलं इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम, देन वी कॅन सी द व्हॉट इज द साऊंड वेव्ह टेक्निक, देन अनदर वन इज इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक्स electronics techniques, so electronic microscope or SEM or TEM. So all these techniques we already discussed. But in this we can create the image, or in previous all examples the object is also object is available, and from that object we can use the different signals and then image will be generated. But here instead of that object we can create a image using the computer system. So this is one of the another way of imagining. म्हणजे आतापर्यंत जे आपण इमेजिंग किंवा वेगळे ऍप्लिकेशन बघितले ते कसे होते ऍप्लिकेशन, की इमेज किंवा त्या ऑब्जेक्ट डायरेक्ट अवेलेबल आहे, त्या ऑब्जेक्टची इमेज आपल्याला घ्यायची आहे. मग तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मायक्रोस्कोप असेल किंवा साऊंड वेव्ह असतील किंवा इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम असेल, त्याचा यूज करून आपण जे ऑब्जेक्ट अवेलेबल आहे त्याची इमेज घेत होतो. नाउ नेक्स्ट पार्ट वी कॅन क्रिएट अवर इमेज using the computer system, and for that purpose to create the image we can use different types of algorithms, mathematical algorithms, and using that algorithm the image will be generated. So this is application. So instead they are generated by the computer system. For example, fractals are a striking example of computer generated images. So basically fractal is nothing more than the iterative reproduction of the basic pattern according to the image. For example, आता ऑटोमॅटिक एखाद्या अल्गोरिदम नुसार इमेज जनरेट करणं युजिंग द कम्प्युटर सिस्टम, दॅट इज वन ऑफ द एक्झाम्पल. म्हणजे समजा मी एक असा अल्गोरिदम लिहिला की ज्या सर्कल काढतोय, आणि सर्कल काढताना त्याचा जो सेंटर पॉइंट आहे तो 1 सेंटीमीटरनं जर शिफ्ट होत असेल तर कसा सर्कल येणार. समजा हा सेंटर पॉइंट असेल तर ह्याचा सर्कल इथं आला, 1 सेंटीमीटर शिफ्ट झाला की त्याचा सर्कल परत असा दुसरा झाला, परत असा तिसरा झाला, म्हणजे अशा पद्धतीने जनरेट होत जाणार. इथं ही इमेज ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल आहे का नाही. सो वी कॅन जनरेट सच टाइप ऑफ इमेज युजिंग द अल्गोरिदम. सो दिस इज एक्झाम्पल, दिस इज वन ऑफ द अनदर टाइप ऑफ इमेजिंग. So according to some mathematical techniques or mathematical rules we can create the objects. Okay, so we can create the image. So tailing is one of the simplest way to generate the fractal image. A square can be subdivided into 4 square, then sub-region, each of which can be further subdivided into 4 small square region, and so on. This is one of the another example. But समजा मी अशी एक image घेतली, so I have to draw one square. Then again I have to divide this into 4 parts. Then each image will be divided into 4 parts. Then each image will be divided into 4 parts. Then this will be also divided into 4 parts. Then this will be divided into 4 parts. So this is a algorithm, repetitive process. So such type of repetitive process will be done using some computer system, and the image will be generated, and such image will be one of the another application. So here this object is not available. Actually object available hai ka? We can draw this square, we can draw this whatever circle, and we can write the repetitive process, either subdividing or whatever the shifting, whatever may be. So these are the techniques using that. So we can use the another techniques to create the images. Okay. So these are the examples. So depending on the complexity of the rules, for the filling the subsquare, some beautiful tiles image of will be generated. Okay. Of course, the geometry can be important. So for instance, the fractal image could be grow rapidly out of the center point. The fractal image tend towards the some arithmetic mathematical formula which is used to grow the sub image elements. Now see, this is example. For this is example. Now in this example, see, the triangle will be created, then we can create another triangle. See, this is another triangle. In that triangle we have to create the another triangle. In this we have to create the another triangle. So these are the examples. Or we can see here we have to create the square, round circle, small circle, then small circle, then this. So these are the sum of the mathematical formula, and using that formula we can create this. So by using this technique we can create the image. बऱ्याच जणांना तुम्ही बघितलं असेल की अशा पद्धतीने इमेज आपल्याला क्रिएट करता येतात. मॅथमॅटिकल कम्प्युटर ग्राफिक्स मध्ये सुद्धा वापरून तुम्ही केले असतील इमेज. सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द अनदर टेक्निक्स युजिंग दिस इमेजिंग. Okay. So a more structured approach to image generated using computer system, which is a now 3D images. आता जे म्हणजे आतापर्यंत आपण 2D इमेज बघितले. Now we can create the images using 3D. जर तुम्ही बघा की तुम्ही गुगलला illumination सर्च करा. So you can search the different 3D image. 3D इफेक्टच्या इमेज आपल्याला बघायला मिळते, आणि त्या कशा क्रिएट केल्या that create will be using the computer system. So here more structured approach to image generation by computer lies in a 3D modeling. So this is an area that provides an important interaction between the image processing and computer graphics, and the basic of this 3D visualization system. So the image of this type can be used to medical training and for the host of the another application, or for criminal forensic or some special effect. मग प्रत्येक ठिकाणी 2D इमेजेस उपयोग करता येईल. समजा आपल्याला एखाद्या गोष्टीचं ट्रेनिंग द्यायचं असेल, सो वी रिक्वायर द 3D इमेज. सो दिस 3D इमेज विल बी युजफुल फॉर सच पर्पज. सो फॉर द ट्रेनिंग, समजा ह्युमन बॉडीचं ट्रेनिंग द्यायचं आहे मेडिकल स्टुडंटला, तर प्रत्येक वेळेस ह्युमन बॉडी समोर आणणं शक्य नसते. सो इन दॅट सिच्युएशन इट कॅन जनरेट द 3D ह्युमन बॉडी, अँड अकॉर्डिंग टू रोटेटिंग दॅट ह्युमन बॉडी द पर्टिक्युलर training will be takes place. So this is one of the example. Means computer system are used to generate the different types of image. It may be 2D image and it may be 3D image. So these are the imagery. So here the basic applications based on source of the image. आतापर्यंत जे applications बघितले आपण काय, so these applications are based on the source of the image. म्हणजे इमेजचा सोर्स आहे, त्या सोर्सच्या इमेज नुसार we have to develop the applications, we have to use the applications. So this is a applications which are created by using the source. म्हणजे इमेज कशी जनरेट झाली आणि त्या जनरेट करणाऱ्या सोर्स पासून आपण ऍप्लिकेशन बघितले. सो देर आर हाऊ मेनी टेक्निक्स. फर्स्ट इज सो फर्स्ट टेक्निक इज इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम. ह्याचा पहिला बघितलं. सो इलेक्ट्रोमॅग्नेटिक स्पेक्ट्रम हॅज डिफरंट रेज. सो इट इज एक्स रे, इट इज गॅमा रेज, इट इज अल्ट्रावायलेट रेज, इट इज रडार्स रे, और it may visible ray, infrared ray. So all these applications we have to study. Then second technique will be studied, that is sound waves. Second technique is sound waves. So by using sound wave we can use for the geographical or from earth land acquisition or something technique we have to study. Then in next level ultrasonic sound we have to study, so which is used to find the defect in a baby, newborn baby or something, unborn baby. Then next will be electronic microscope, so that will be another applications we have to study. Then third, next important application, that is auto generated or computer generated images. So this image is either 2D or 3D. So all these parts we have to discuss. So all of these applications basically related with the source. Now next point we have to discuss what are the applications related with the industry, related with the organization sector.